Uncle, tell me again about Soren Boldfoot in the war, please?
Certainly, boy. Put down that lizard and come here. In the long ago, before Frau's tower fell to the sea, there was war all across the known lands. There's no one alive what knows how it started, but it went on for centuries. The tribes squabbled amongst themselves, but they all, humans, elves, stonekin, hawkmen, they all had one enemy in common. The undead hordes they called the Gone. The curtain between worlds was torn, and the Gone invaded our realm. The tribes fought against them, separately and desperately, and every death among the living added to the enemy's ranks. As the Gone grew in numbers, the tribes were pushed to the edge. History says that some of them even went extinct. All that changed when Soren Boldfoot returned from his quest and united the tribes. You know you were named for him, don't you?
I know, Uncle. He was a great hero. Tell me about him.
All right, boy. Sit quiet and I'll tell you. Boldfoot quested for the means to end the undead invasion. His journey, which lasted for 2 decades, took him to those strange and forgotten lands where he recovered the 12...
The 12 what, Uncle?
12 powerful and ancient artifacts that Boldfoot forged into the Relic, the most terrifying weapon our world has ever known. But more on that in a moment. Anyway, he returned with the Relic, only to find his village gone. Not abandoned, boy, but gone. Understand? Well, Boldfoot didn't stick around. He set out again, seeking allies. He met with the heads of the tribes, the elves, dwarves, fairies, orcs, and all the others, and convinced them that their only hope for survival was to band together. Setting their differences aside, the coalition came together on the Plains of Blood. They battled the largest invasion of the Gone anyone had ever seen, and it was awful, boy. It lasted days, and the tide was turning in favor of the dead. As the living made their last stand, Boldfoot gathered his resolve. He knew that the relic would save the tribes, but also that it would bring calamity. Boldfoot prayed for the strength to do what he must, and finally, on the 11th day...
What happened then, Uncle?
Easy, I'm getting to that. On the 11th day, Boldfoot walked out to the front line. Amid the endless battle, he held the relic high above his head and unleashed its power. They say it was like the sun itself was on the field, scouring and burning all it touched. The world shattered, and the land was separated by great rifts. The oceans rushed in to fill the gaps, and mountains rose and fell. Where land yet remained, it was battered by fire and ice. Our world was torn from theirs, and the Gone lost all connection to their source of power. That, boy, was the cataclysm. The battle was won, but at an incalculable cost. Our world would never be the same. No one knows how Boldfoot survived, but the stories all agree that he was a different man afterwards.
Uncle, what about the Queen?
Boy, you ask too many questions. After the war, Boldfoot crowned himself as king of the known lands, and he kept the relic safe in his castle. The coronation caused grumbling among the tribes, and they argued that their contributions and sacrifices were no less than Boldfoot's. They were also scared that the relic would be used again, and these things may explain why some of the tribes withdrew from sight. The royal family has been in power ever since those days, and the Queen is his many greats granddaughter.
Tell me about Frau's tower, Uncle.
Another time, boy. Go! You're behind on your chores, and that sty isn't going to clean itself.